Welcome to our channel, where we delve into the hidden histories and untold stories shaping our world. Today, we're tackling a critical yet often overlooked topic: the history of U.S. interference in Latin America. From covert operations to direct invasions, the United States has a long and complex involvement in the region, one deeply rooted in imperialism. To understand the U.S. interest in Latin America, we must start with the basics: geography and ideology. Latin America's vast resources and strategic location have long made it a target for U.S. influence. However, this interest has seldom been about mutual benefit. Instead, it's been driven by a desire to control resources, markets, and political systems in ways that favor U.S. economic and geopolitical goals. This is imperialism in essence, extending power over another nation, often at the expense of its sovereignty and well-being. The story begins in 1823 with the Monroe Doctrine, declared by President James Monroe. Ostensibly, it was a warning to European powers to stay out of the Western Hemisphere. But in practice, it laid the groundwork for U.S. dominance in Latin America. Over time, the Monroe Doctrine was interpreted as granting the U.S. the right to intervene in Latin American affairs whenever it saw fit, paving the way for over a century of interventions, starting with the Mexican-American War in 1846. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, we see the rise of banana republics, countries like Guatemala, Honduras, and Costa Rica, where U.S. corporations, particularly the United Fruit Company, held immense power. These corporations, backed by the U.S. government, exploited local labor and resources, often disregarding the well-being of the local populations. When leaders resisted or pursued policies threatening U.S. interests, they were quickly removed, sometimes through bribery, other times through military coups. One of the most infamous examples is the 1954 coup in Guatemala. The CIA orchestrated the overthrow of democratically elected President Jacobo Arbenz after he attempted to nationalize unused land held by United Fruit. The Cold War added a new dimension to U.S. interference, with the U.S. government obsessed with stopping communism, supporting brutal dictatorships across the region. In Chile, the U.S. backed the 1973 military coup that ousted democratically elected President Salvador Allende. General Augusto Pinochet, who took over, ruled with an iron fist, leading to thousands of deaths and widespread human rights abuses, all with U.S. approval. Similar scenarios played out in Argentina, Brazil, Nicaragua, and beyond, where U.S. support for anti-communist regimes came at a tremendous human cost. In the late 20th and early 21st centuries, U.S. interference has often been justified under the war on drugs, another form of control. Drug enforcement has frequently served as a pretext for exerting military and political influence. Plan Colombia, for example, was presented as a strategy to combat drug trafficking, but also involved large-scale military aid and intervention, leading to displacement and violence against civilians. Even today, the U.S. continues to exert influence through economic means, trade agreements, and diplomatic pressure, ensuring that Latin America remains within its sphere of influence. The legacy of U.S. interference in Latin America is one of exploitation, violence, and lost opportunities, a history often hidden or downplayed, but with effects still felt today. The people of Latin America have paid a high price for U.S.-style imperialism through economic hardship, political instability, and social upheaval. Yet, despite this, they've shown remarkable resilience and continue to fight for their sovereignty and dignity. Understanding this history is crucial if we are to build a future based on respect and mutual cooperation, rather than dominance and exploitation. We must challenge the narratives that justify intervention and recognize the agency and rights of all nations, especially those in our own hemisphere. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going. What are your thoughts on U.S. involvement in Latin America? Let us know in the comments.